Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
Donald Trump, just last week, he confirmed to the National Review that he is again considering a run in 2016.
Is that people think that Donald Trump is a clown.
Donald Trump is a clown.
I mean, does anybody seriously think that Donald Trump is serious about running for president?
Donald Trump, you know, he's a clown.
The likely moderator apparently believes that Donald Trump is a clown.
So basically, this is the beginning of the end for Trump.
The beginning of the end.
Beginning of the end?
This is probably starting of the beginning of the end for Donald Trump.
Donald, you're not going to be able to insult your way to the presidency.
The strongest person usually isn't the loudest one in the room.
And we better be ready for the fact that he might be leading the Republican ticket.
Next, I know you don't believe that, but I want to go on.
Sorry to laugh. Next, I'll make a prediction, though, for you. I don't really get into predictions much, but this one I'll go way out on a limb. Donald Trump will never, ever be president of the United States. That Trump should not be in this race. He's an absurdity. He is a travesty.
This will be a wake-up call to the Republican Party. Despite Boris thinking that Donald Trump could win New York, like this, the presidential race is over.
Could I just cut through? I have one thing to say, one thing only, and that is that this race is over. Tomorrow morning, the money will dry up. The Republicans will start to hide. Trump has no place to go. This race, effectively, as of tonight, is no longer a presidential race.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
Okay, here we are. And which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones, right now, Donald Trump.
And so, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy. All, let's say, cow poo-poo aside, there is zero chance we'll be seeing you being sworn in on the Capitol steps with your hand on a giant golden Bible.
I mean, he had a really good chance to be different and really have a chance to change things, but he doesn't do the work. He's lazy.
We talk about him every day, and we continuously bash him.
He's not going to be the president. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
You guys are what, nigga? You fucking scared, nigga? Yo, fuck all you are. Weapon, nigga. Weapon? Shit happened. He's backing up. What? Hey, come on. Hey, don't talking shit, nigga. We're not going to say nothing. Why you talking shit? Drop. You're in my face. You're a gangster. Why do you guys have to be fighting? He's fired up. So then why are you fighting?
Because there's some bad people in this.
Wait, I thought you said you weren't for him.
I'm defending both sides. Why is it?
How come you're not defending our side right now? You're not defending. I never heard you once say defend.
Look, why is she walking away? We're having a discourse. Why is Mexico one race? There's European descent. There's Spanish descent. There is indigenous descent Mexicans. Why are they all one race? You're calling all Mexican people one race. That's what I'm saying. They're not.
You're talking about Mexicans. We're not here for Mexicans. We're here for United. We're here to be united. Why? Because we do not want our rights taken away.
It's not that we don't have the means right now to support even our own people. As Americans, we do not have the means to support our own people, so we cannot provide for people that come in.
I don't care about your fucking rhetoric. So
I'm still voting for Donald Trump.
I don't really care who you vote for.
I'm still voting for Donald Trump, buddy.
No, I can agitate because he's fucking agitating.
So what? So what?
I can agitate because I don't care about going to jail. I know, yeah.
You're upset.
Yeah, they've always done this. They've hold on, it's okay.
Hey, aren't you the one who spit on me with your nasty mouth?
They've always
with your filthy mouth. You spit on me.
No.
Talking all like that? You're over here with them.
You're a fucking dick sucking ass motherfucker. That's why you don't do shit. Swing at me, homie. Swing at me, homie. You ain't gonna do fucking shit. Obviously said you ain't gonna do shit.
Agitator. You're in the protest area. These are the people who dislike Donald Trump. Look how they act. They're such beautiful people. It's
just like him, disrespectful to women.
You have I love women.
Just like Donald
I love women.
Hey,
doesn't matter who gets elected. Whoever gets elected is gonna be a puppet.
That's it for the camera.
Donald Trump fired up a mostly cheering crowd at his rally in South Carolina tonight, with several protesters, including a Muslim woman who stood silently during Trump's speech. CNN's Jeff Zeleny is there, and he has a story.
Here is what she said. Muslims are peaceful and tolerant people and have nothing whatsoever to do with terrorism. That is Hillary Clinton. I don't want them in our country. Continue to allow thousands upon thousands of people to pour into our country, many of whom have the same thought process as this savage killer. Many of the principles of radical Islam are incompatible with Western values and institutions. Remember this, radical Islam is anti-woman, anti-gay, and anti-American. Clinton wants to allow radical Islamic terrorists to pour into our country. They enslave women and they murder gays. I don't want them in our country.
Hey, Trump, fuck you.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump. That's not going to happen.
I think if he becomes the president, he'll make it great because the states is already great.
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red capes.
On that note, Tom.
Hillary had Beyonce and Jay-Z, Bruce Springsteen, John Bon Jovi, Katy Perry. As late as Tuesday night, the pop singer was still trying to get out the vote.
If you are in a state and you're watching this and your polls are still open, you must vote for Hillary Clinton tonight.
David Duke and people like that, they come out from under the rocks all the time around this time this year. It got nothing to do with Donald Trump. We all Americans. I think we need to stop with all the racist stuff and the race baiting. Like me and my friend right here, we just met today, we was talking. You know, we got to stop with the racist stuff and this, that. We all Americans, man. And nobody paying David Duke no mind.
Clearly, let me just be clear here. Obviously, the majority of Donald Trump supporters are not African American. I don't know how many African Americans were in that building, but that is one person that we have chosen to cut that sound from, David.
Donald Trump asserts that he is leading among vets, but this is the candidate who said that John McCain was not a war hero because he got caught.
Yes.
How do you make sense of, from your perspective, of what's happening in our country?
I think that's the biggest mistake, is we're still trying to make sense of something that is complete buffoonery.
This is not republicanism as we have known it. These are racist ideas, race-baiting ideas, anti-Muslim, anti-immigrant, anti-women, all key tenets making up the emerging racist ideology known as the alt-right.
What was that? That was Hillary Clinton's speech a few weeks ago denouncing the self-proclaimed alt-right and their support of Donald Trump and Donald Trump's campaign cultivating that support. You remember the speech, you remember the whole discussion around that, but there was this one weird heckling moment in that speech. Here it is again.
All key tenets making up the emerging racist ideology known as the alt-right.
So it's not like an applause moment or like a booing moment or whatever, it's quiet. Everybody's listening to what she says. As soon as she says that phrase, alt-right, some guy yells out from the crowd, "Pepe!" It's ridiculous, right? This smug frog is willing to, speak the truth about race and the Jews, right? This is the guy who designed the new space age logo supporting Trump, right? The basket of deplorables thing. Well, the racist and anti-Semitic right tried to turn that into a badge of honor. And somebody created this image of the proud deplorables. You can look carefully at all the heads there. It's Donald Trump flanked by, there's each of his sons. Eric on the left side of your screen, Don Jr. on the right side of your screen. There's also Mike Pence, just to the left of Trump. There's Chris Christie, Rudy Giuliani. There's the editor on the far right there. That's the editor from the Trump campaign CEO's website, who was banned from Twitter for racist abuse. You also see Ben Carson there. You see next to the racist abuse guy with the dagger.
Example, he put this image on his Instagram account. It's a meme of Pepe. And for those of you who don't know, Pepe is a white nationalist symbol. David Duke, the former KKK leader, also tweeted a similar meme, but photoshopped his face into the image. But you get the drift here.
Well, you know, Donald Trump is what Americans love. Donald Trump is what Americans aspire to be. You know, to call your own citizens super predators is pretty harsh, and you know, and it's pretty big indictment. You know, it's just like the term thug.
This is the new electoral map that's just out today from NBC News based on current polling. And one big problem you can see here on this map for Donald Trump is that some of the usual toss-up states, some of the states where usually the pollsters say we have no idea who's going to win, states like Colorado, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Virginia, they're no longer considered toss-ups. Those states aren't yellow on this map anymore. After looking at current polling, NBC moved all 5 of those toss-up states, what are usually toss-up states, moved them all over into the blue column, made them all lean Democrat column.
If she wins Florida, then it's over. Okay, that means very likely she's won Pennsylvania.
No.
And she's going to be over 300 electoral votes.
No.
That doesn't necessarily mean landslide, but it means that's a comfortable win.
What is the percentage? What is the percentage?
49.8, 2.5 points, 2.4 point lead for Hillary.
She has a 2.4 point lead. Everybody.
Yes.
Don't panic. She's here comes Hillary.
You think with South Carolina and Kansas, you would think those would be not just likely, but likely / slam dunk / guaranteed / obviously this is ruby red, South Carolina and Kansas. But instead they're light red. They're just lean Republican now.
2 more wins for Donald Trump. CNN projects Donald Trump will win the state of South Carolina with its 9 electoral votes. Another win for Donald Trump. We project will win Kansas with its 6 electoral votes.
South Carolina leans Republican? Kansas leans Republican? In terms of what's still a toss-up, there's only 5 states that are still considered a toss-up right now. Florida.
And CNN projects Donald Trump will carry the state of Florida.
Florida, Iowa, Ohio.
And CNN projects
Ohio, Nevada, Georgia.
CNN projects Donald Trump will win the state of Iowa with its 6 elect. And CNN now projects that Donald Trump will carry the state of Georgia.
61% chance of winning for Donald Trump.
Insane. This is
Okay.
insane.
We got 87% chance that the Republicans are going to keep the Senate, in which case they would have Trump, the Senate, and the House.
And the Supreme Court.
Oh, and they'll have the Supreme Court.
And the Supreme Court.
Wow.
We won't switch it over for the first time in an entire generation to liberal.
Even if Donald Trump did win all of the toss-up states, he would still lose.
Right now, a historic moment. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Donald Trump wins the presidency. Donald Trump, elected president of the United States.
How about more humor to help with any of that post-election stress? Here you go.
I had the weirdest dream last night. Remember that guy who used to host The Apprentice? I dreamed we elected him president.
The big story is that America woke up this morning and was like,
Did I do that?
If this morning you finally woke up from a coma, well, you might want to go back.
What we did was the Democratic equivalent of installing an above-ground pool. Even if we're lucky and it doesn't seep into our foundations, the neighbors will never look at us the same way again.
we put our 8-month-old son to bed, and I was holding him, and I said to him, when you wake up tomorrow morning, we might have our first female president. And then when we came home around midnight, I went into his room, shook his crib until he woke up, and screamed, "We have to get out of here!"
I watched news coverage all night last night, and it was especially interesting to watch the change in tone as the night progressed. They started out upbeat, but as the evening went on and the results came in, almost every anchor looked like a child slowly realizing that no one was showing up to his birthday party.
Now, today, Americans have the right to feel happy, angry, pessimistic, optimistic, but everybody should feel grateful that we get to vote, and if we don't get our way, we have the chance to try again. It is a beautiful thing.
The epidemic of malicious fake news and false propaganda that flooded social media over the past year, it's now clear that so-called fake news can have real-world consequences. This isn't about politics or partisanship. Lives are at risk. Lives of ordinary people just trying to go about their days, to do their jobs, contribute to their communities. It's a danger that must be addressed, and addressed quickly. Bipartisan legislation is making its way through Congress to boost the government's response to foreign propaganda, and Silicon Valley is starting to grapple with the challenge and threat of fake news. It's imperative that leaders in both the private sector and the public sector step up to protect our democracy and innocent lives.
In fact, the only thing your mouth is good for is being Vladimir Putin's holster. Your presidential library.
Let's hammers, holy crap. They're smashing the Starbucks windows. They are smashing the Starbucks windows right now. This is complete anarchy. This is not peaceful protest. This is anarchy.
Was that moment when the person asking to sit in the most respected seat in our country imitated a disabled reporter, someone he outranked in privilege, power, and the capacity to fight back. It kind of broke my heart when I saw it, and I still can't get it out of my head because it wasn't in a movie. It was real life. And this instinct to humiliate, when it's modeled by someone in the public platform.
He will not divide us. He will not divide us.
Pepe! Pepe! He will not divide us. Pepe!
He will not divide us.
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 Pepe! He will not divide us. 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 He will not divide us.
to the presidential inauguration, right?
I was invited by, we did a VIP thing for the vets and went to the Veterans Ball, and so I went to go see Democrats and Republicans. Yeah, I went to the inauguration. It was
I'm not attacking you.
You get in this town. I'm not kidding. You got to be real careful around here. You know, you get beat up. If you don't believe what everybody believes, this is like 30s Germany. I don't know what happened. If you're not part of the group, you know what we believe is right. I go, well, I might have a problem with that.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, he bought a Trump! She been so yeah! Oh, y'all vote. I gotta do that to her. Damn! Beat his ass! Don't vote Trump! Don't vote Trump! Don't vote Trump! Yeah, this shit did it. Still his foot. Hey, y'all be going though.
I saw a lot of people saying before the election, oh, you know what? If Trump wins, Hillary supporters are gonna be sad. But if Hillary wins, Trump supporters are gonna be angry. Well, guess what, fuckheads? Looks like you guys aren't that different after all.
That's what you're doing. You're kink shaming. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not kink shaming. I'm shaming
you support someone who
on.
peed on. That's kink shaming.
And
it's an ad hominem too.
I'm shaming them.
What if someone likes that? What if a transgender person likes that? What do you mean?
No, I don't hate trans. One of my best friends.
White.
Oh shit! Bitch!
Girl hits a girl and you're gonna jump in? Come on, man.
Alright, that's who you voted for, Trump. You voted for hate, you voted for war.
She's Canadian.
So during the fighting, there was about 7 M80s thrown into the crowd from the Antifa side. One of them landed next to an old woman who fell down trying to get away from it. I'm wondering if you or I know you don't speak for the entire group, but do you condemn the throwing of fireworks at people?
Well, the revolution isn't fucking easy. I mean, I got kneed in the face, pepper sprayed in the eye, and some guy tried hitting my head against a rock. And he was wearing a fucking Make America Great Again hat. So I guess that's sort of what we're trying to defend ourselves against. These people are coming in and they're trying to take away our rights, and they're passing legislation to take away our rights, and we're here to tell them that that's not fucking okay. They're here trying to posture up and say, oh look, we're so big and powerful, look at our movement, and we're telling them, no, you're not fucking welcome here.
Wall Street Journal posted an article, Disney severs tie with YouTube star PewDiePie after anti-Semitic posts. So he was cut from his network soon after, everyone's writing about it, and then YouTube also canceled season 2 of his YouTube Red series. All these sites came out of the woodwork saying Felix is a racist, he's an anti-Semite, he's a Nazi. Forbes and others posting articles about this is why it's dangerous to give money to influencers. And my response to all of this was it makes sense why Disney and YouTube would sever ties. All of a sudden they could be brought up into a scandal. But while it makes sense from a purely business standpoint, I don't support it. I didn't want it to happen. And personally, I found it disgusting that so many of these mainstream media outlets were misrepresenting and putting things out of context when talking about PewDiePie. And that's because 1, PewDiePie is a comedian trying to make jokes about things, and 2, he was often misrepresented in any of his inclusions of anything Nazi related. You can go through all the examples. If it's the guys holding the sign, the whole point was that these guys will literally do anything, no limits for change. His commentary on the site and what people are willing to do for a buck. The time where they show him watching Hitler, he's literally in that video making commentary that the YouTube Heroes program is like Nazi youth. That YouTube Heroes are like Nazis and Nazis are bad. But you're not gonna get that context when you have journalists who are going through hundreds and hundreds of video just going like, okay, Hitler? Did he include Hitler? Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter the context. He used it.
Nice try, Wall Street Journal. Try again, motherfucker.
Forbes has named me in an article titled, How These Young Conservative YouTube Stars Are Making Bank by Embracing Trump and Bashing Feminism. Then pointing out that people like myself and PewDiePie, we were affected by the ad boycott. Then it started stabilizing and, quote, right-wing commentary, already a pesky enterprise for YouTube image-conscious clients, had never been more unattractive for advertisers. How could these accounts survive, let alone thrive, as they're claiming? There you have it. Philip DeFranco is a conservative, Trump-loving, right-wing commentary channel. This is why no one trusts these people anymore.